I was Googling my family's new house when I found this by 𝙎𝙏𝙊𝙍𝙍. Blog entry 1, 9/7/16. This is my first time posting, so bear with me. Recently I bought my first house, and well, it's not much. I'm pretty excited about it. The realtor said it had been abandoned for several years. The previous owner went missing, and no one really knows what happened to them. But after so much time, the family decided to have him declared legally dead. I'm guessing that throwing the house up on the market and finally settling the estate is their way of moving on. Horribly sad for them, but it did mean that I got a killer deal on a fully furnished home. I know it's a bit of a fixer-upper, but I've got it mostly livable for now. Hell, when I first bought it, there were broken windows, the back door was busted, bad enough that I couldn't even close it and get it to latch without doing some work on the door jamb. But I've got it mostly in working order for now. A lot of the furniture was so thoroughly wrecked that it resembled firewood more than furniture, and the walls were pretty damn marked up in places. Not sure if it was someone using a knife or if a large animal got trapped in and clawed the place up. Either way, I definitely have some interior work to do. I don't know. I figure some druggies probably broke in at one point and were just using the place as some sort of flop house. Either way, the price I got it at was still cheaper than paying rent, and I have enough in my budget to fix it up. Besides, I actually enjoy doing this sort of work, so I'm not going to complain about its potentially sketchy past. Anyways, yesterday while I was cleaning up some of the old junk, I found this journal stuffed under an old cedar chest in the living room. Inside, it was dated to 1998. The leather cover had some dark burgundy stains, but the pages don't seem to be too damaged. From what looks like, I'm guessing a red wine spill. I found some other weird things while cleaning up as well, like part of a Ouija board in the fireplace, odd symbols drawn on some of the furniture, just all sorts of stuff. So I figured I'd start a blog and see if anyone else is as amused by all of this as I am. Not sure what to call it yet. Maybe something like The Horrors of Home Repair. Well, I'll figure something better out later. I'm planning on documenting the weird things I find, and the overall restoration. Alright, I'm getting ready for bed now, so let's figure out how to wrap this up. Oh, side note, before I hop off, I finally got the bedroom put together, so I can start sleeping here tonight. Cutting the travel time out is going to speed things up. Well, I'll be back with another post before too long. Blog entry 2, 9/8/16. Hey guys. Well, I didn't sleep too well my first night at the house. I kept hearing this weird scratching noise. Maybe it's mice in the wall scratching away. But either there's a lot of them, or there are some damn big mice. I was so out of it when I first woke up, I thought maybe the wind was blowing through one of the broken windows at first. So I cut up some boxes and taped them to the windows, hoping that would help. It didn't. I'm going to call an exterminator later. Hopefully they can take care of whatever it is, because if it's not paying me rent, it better get the hell out. Besides, bright side, since I couldn't sleep anyways, I decided to take a peek at that old journal. I know you might think it's weird, but I figure I bought the house and all the contents inside, so the journal is technically mine. Maybe I can find some of the entries on what repairs were done. That sort of stuff could save me a lot of extra work in the long run. So far, there's nothing exciting or house-related. But who knows? It's a pretty thick journal, and the entries aren't consistent. I did learn some interesting things about the previous owner, though. His name is, well, I guess was, Carl. He was 38, freshly divorced, and bought the house on foreclosure. I'm guessing from the sounds of it, his wife took everything. Hell, from what I read, if they had kids, she would have taken them too. But lucky he didn't have kids to make things harder. I don't know if he was just overwhelmed after all that. but I guess he decided to start a new life somewhere. Anyways, I'm going to call the exterminator and I'll let you guys know what they find. Blog entry 3, 9/12/16. Hey guys, it's been a few days. I figured I'd post an update. Well, I called the exterminator and he won't be able to make it out till next week. The scratching sounds is getting worse, and I've started hearing things outside. I guess it can't be too shocking given how far off the beaten trail the house is. It's tucked back behind several plots of farmland and in the middle of a small grove of trees. Nothing but a long dirt driveway connecting me to the rest of the world. So, I would be shocked if I didn't have wildlife way out here. When it came up for sale, I figured the isolation would do me some good. But damn, I'm really starting to wonder if it's getting to me. I know it did the old owner. I've been reading a little in the journal from time to time, and it seems like he had a pest problem too. In between rants about how much the cost of beer was going up, and his ex-wife, he wrote about scratchy noises keeping him up. The next few days I'm going to be checking the outside of the house for any holes or cracks where things might be crawling inside. I bet it's field mice. And if it's field mice, the last thing I need is hantavirus. I've also hired someone to replace the windows. That should help keep things outside. I haven't met any of my neighbors yet, but with being surrounded by fields, I guess there aren't any neighbors to meet. So, in a sense, I've already met all of my neighbors. I did find some more weird stuff. You might find it interesting. The old owner must have been into some serious occult shit, 'cause I found a ton of books on the subject in that cedar chest. Some of them seem pretty old, so I'm holding on to them while I debate over getting them appraised. You know, might be worth something. Blog entry 4, 9/13/16. Guys, I'm freaking the hell out. It's 3:42 a.m. I was dead asleep when I heard the shriek followed by something slamming into the door. Shriek. Gods, that isn't even the right word for it. That was low, guttural, and sort of demonic sounding. I was upstairs in my bedroom, and I'm sure it came from the back door. Not gonna lie, I freaked the fuck out and grabbed my shotgun from the closet and checked the whole damn house inside and out. I found what looks like new claw marks on my new back door. I called Fish and Game, thinking it was their job to handle large, dangerous animals like this. I think I heard that a mountain lion can sound almost like a shrieking woman, but what the hell kind of animal makes that noise? The lady I woke up said it was probably nothing. Maybe a raccoon. A damn raccoon. I've never met a raccoon tall enough to scratch the door at my eye level. I swear to God, if this is a goddamn bear problem, I'm going to lose my shit. Don't they have to disclose that kind of stuff when you buy a house? I decided to call the exterminator, just on the off chance it was a raccoon. Or a pack of angry raccoons that managed to stand atop each other with a damn trench coat so that they could go to the carnival and ride the rides. Then on their way home they decided to swing by my place to scratch the fuck out of my door at eye level. I left a very polite message for the exterminator, letting him know I really needed him to come out sooner rather than later, because hantavirus is the least of my worries at this point. Blog entry 5, 9/18/16. Sorry, it's been a few days, guys. Life has been crazy. So the exterminator came out. He found no evidence of rodents, but I had him leave some of those cage traps around my property, just to be safe. Fish and Game has been no help at all. I guess our town's game warden is conveniently in Hawaii the next couple of weeks. And to top it off, they never thought to get someone to fill in. The scratching noises seem louder, but the worst part is that damn banging at the back door. Whatever clawed it up keeps coming back and waking me up with that weird low scratching. I haven't gotten a good night's sleep in days. The more I hear it, the more it sounds like words. I can't tell what it's saying, and I'm not even totally sure it's English, but it's getting louder every night, almost like it's getting closer. I've also learned that the old owner of my house was absolutely batshit crazy. He had similar issues with noises and animals, but he imagined it was this creature he kept going on about and even gave it a name, the Crawler. According to him, that's what's making the noises I'm hearing. There was one page that mentioned the broken Ouija board I found, but it looks like he probably spilled some beer, and I can't quite make out the words. That must have been some strong drink if he was so out of it he was coming up with names like the Crawler. Hell, it would have made more sense if he called it the Scratcher or the Screecher, but the Crawler? That makes no damn sense at all. Blog entry 6, 9/21/16. I can't fucking sleep. It's 2:45 in the morning. I got up to take a piss, and coming back into my bedroom, I saw something outside my window. I'm on the second goddamn story. How the fuck is there anything peeking in my window? I shut the curtains and was even debating on sleeping downstairs. But after the noises started again, my thoughts quickly changed to fuck that fucking shit. There is now a dresser in front of the window, and my bedroom door is locked tight. I'm sitting in the middle of my bed with my gun. Maybe I should call up Fish and Game again, so that they can tell me that a raccoon could do all of this. Update to my earlier post. It's now 3:42 in the afternoon. I finally fell asleep when the sound stopped, which was about 6 in the morning. I'm still shaking over what happened last night. When I got the balls to leave the bedroom, there were new claw marks in the hallways, leading all the way to the bedroom, and my back door was forced open. Whatever this is, it's no raccoon. I'm going down to the electric store today and picking up some security cameras. Maybe if I can get video evidence on whatever this is, I will be taken more seriously when I call for help. I'm also calling my cousin Cindy. Reading that journal and seeing how insane he got makes me worry a bit that this could all just be in my head. And having someone else here would help me know that I'm not actually going crazy. She lives a few towns over and has been having issues with her boyfriend, so she could probably use a night or two away, and I could really use the company to make sure I'm not just going absolutely batshit crazy too. Blog entry 7, 9/22/16. Cindy came over. I haven't had the chance to clean up the spare bedrooms, so I just set up an air mattress in my room. She was planning on staying a few nights, but after what we found, I don't see that happening. I didn't tell her too much of what was going on when she came over last night. On the off chance that I'm losing it, I just said that things have been weird and I could use the company. She helped me set up the new security system, and she brought over some beer, so we started drinking like the adulting adults we are. It didn't take long before I showed her the journal and the weird shit I found. Apparently Cindy has been hiding a secret passion for the occult from me. As she was flipping through the journal and books, she told me a story about some old legend. There were these creatures called crawlers. They fed on human emotion, slowly tormenting their victims until their stress and anxiety are so damn high that they couldn't stand it anymore. When you hit that breaking point, that's when they give you that little push you need to send you tripping over the edge. Then they take you sucking every last drop of your emotions, till all that's left is flesh and bone, empty of feeling, empty of life. Apparently they show up when you try to use supernatural means to exact revenge on someone. When you hate somebody that much, it just draws them to you. Problem is that she doesn't know of any way to get them out of the place once they're here. I told her that's exactly what I needed to hear living alone and having issues with noises. After thanking her for the wildly reassuring story, We got ourselves ready for bed. It was about 2 this morning when the noises started up again. Cindy was up reading the journal, and I was awake seriously questioning if I could just burn this place down and collect the homeowner's insurance. Tonight was different, though. After the noises and scratching started, we could hear furniture being tossed around. Not just tossed, flung like my dining table was made out of toothpicks. We could feel the furniture hitting the ceiling below us. Cindy quickly climbed onto the bed with me, and not having any other option, we connected to the security camera. We saw it. This wasn't some raccoon or bear. The camera was in infrared mode, but it didn't make this thing any less terrifying. It was giant. Yet it looked like skin had been heat-shrunk across a bare skeleton. Its limbs were long and spindly, folding in on itself as it moved. Its limbs bending backwards, causing its knees and elbows to stick up past its back. Its face looked like waxy flesh stretched across a misshapen skull. Its nose a smooth surface, sinking into black slits above the gaping mouth that stretched so wide I felt like the tight skin would snap at any moment. As its eyes locked with the camera's lens, they glowed like white-hot orbs burning in that misshapen skull. Its ever-stretching open mouth exposed 2 razor-sharp front teeth. Altogether, it was probably as big as a couch. It unfolded itself with ease, snapping and popping so loudly I could hear it from the 2nd floor, before the sound was drowned out from crashing as it effortlessly tossed my furniture around. Its fingers and toes ended in curved talons that it used to skitter across the walls. I felt disoriented watching something so large moving over my walls and ceiling in a way that made me question gravity, sending my stomach twisting into knots. Even through all the crashing, we could clearly hear its damn screeching as it winded its way up the stairwell and out of the camera's line of sight. We rushed over, locking the door and shoving all the furniture we could in front of it, in hopes that it would just be enough to keep that damn thing out. For a moment, everything went silent. I watched an unmoving camera feed of my shattered home, ears straining to hear anything. All I could hear was my heavy breathing and a heart thudding in my chest. Then it screeched. The sound reverberated through the door with such force that it sent both of us involuntarily dropping to our knees, hands tightly clasped over our ears. The door started to tremble and bulge as it clawed and slammed against it. Everything after that was a blur of fear, pain, and desperation. As we struggled to keep things held in front of that door, it stayed longer than before, only leaving moments before the sun came up. We watched it on my phone as it passed back by the camera and out the door. Cindy and I waited a few more hours before going downstairs. When we did, we noticed something we never seen. Behind where a bookshelf once stood sat a small door. Given the events of the night, we figured if we were going to stop this thing, this crawler, we should check it out. It was locked, but using a screwdriver, I was able to pry it right open. There we found what I assume was Carl. He looked almost mummified, his skin dark and tight across his bones. He held his knees to his chest, a hand outstretched, and his face was stretched into a look of absolute terror. I quickly ran out of the house with Cindy and called the police. They are putting us up in the hotel for a few days and are currently investigating Carl's death. Blog entry 8/9/24/16. Cindy somehow brought the journal with us to the hotel. She's been reading through it non-stop. According to it, Carl tried summoning something to get revenge on his ex. Seems like whatever he did failed. He bought the occult books we found and was trying to get rid of the crawler. That's why there were funny symbols on everything. The last entry in the journal talked about how he was going to try and use the Ouija board to get rid of the crawler. It looked like he had been writing on it, then suddenly stopped, and there was blood on the pages. I tried to show the police the recording of what happened, but in the rush and panic of everything, I forgot to save it. Their running theory is that someone who used the house as a drug den came back and used their super meth powers to throw everything around. I didn't even bother trying to explain. As for Carl, they said he was a schizophrenic and ended up locking himself in the cubby we found to try and protect himself from his delusions and hallucinations. I didn't even bother trying to tell them the truth of what I found. Tonight is our last night in the hotel. Tomorrow I'm going back to that house. And Cindy is going to the city north of us. She says she knows some sort of shaman or witch doctor that may be able to help us. I'm terrified to go back, but I can't afford to stay another night here, and it's too damn cold to be sleeping on the streets. Blog entry 9, 9/25/16. The crawler must have known I'm back. It didn't even wait until early morning. It's 11:45 now, and I can hear it. It sounds irate. The scratching isn't stopping, and I can hear it clawing gashes down the hall. It's slamming against the door now, and the furniture is moving. Gods, I hope it doesn't.